What's going on, wrestling family? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm only reacting to this video for one reason and one reason only, and that's to be nosy, because apparently a fan was banned from WWE. And I don't know about you guys, I didn't hear anything about a fan doing anything crazy at Bad Blood or Raw, so I don't know what this could be. All the rest of this stuff is cool, but I am locked in on that one subject. Now, before we get started and before we get nosy, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into this.
What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a WrestleMania 41 triple threat, the real reason CM Punk is being written off TV, a wrestler apologizes to Randy Orton, backstage frustration in the WWE Women's Division, Tony Khan has a big W helping the hurricane victims,
that's dope.
WWE production team was not told of plans, where's Raw Netflix debut taking place, DX drops a hilarious throwback video, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on WrestleMania XL. And now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at rumors of The Rock being in the WrestleMania 41 main event as a triple threat. Atop of today's news is The Rock's return at Bad Blood, and how there are more rumors on how it will not only play out at WrestleMania 41, but it looks to be a change of plans for the showcase of the Immortals main event. On the WrestleVotes Backstage Pass show, they speculated on what the final boss meant when he counted to 3 and gave a throat-slashing gesture. My thought is it signifies that's where we're going for WrestleMania. 1, 2, 3 as in triple threat match. I can tell you that's on the table, but I'm not sure if it's finalized in any way. It's October, so I doubt it's been finalized, but the idea has been floating around, and I think it makes sense for the company as a whole just to get those 3 guys in one ring at one time.
I just figured that the 1, 2, 3 and the throat cut or whatever meant that all 3 of those guys in the ring are dead. But I mean, it could be anything else. Who knows? Who knows?
And push the story to the moon. Our fans were looking at all possibilities of a triple threat match between The Rock, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns. You may recall we actually discussed this in our Real Reason The Rock returned at Bad Blood video. While their comments are nothing new, they do reflect a growing belief that the WWE wants to raise the stakes for WrestleMania 41. They seemed to set up a Rock vs Cody match for WrestleMania last spring when The Rock confronted Cody Rhodes on the Raw the day after WrestleMania 40. And now it appears the WWE could combine 2 dream matches involving The Rock vs Roman, and Cody vs The Rock into one. Despite talk that it's too early to be certain, it's known that the WWE likes to plan far in advance, and this may be their endgame for 2025 show of shows. Indeed, barring an unfortunate situation such as an injury to one of the players, this triple threat may already be locked in. Next up,
I'm sure they're going to keep them off the show when it gets closer. But as far as this match itself, I guess it would make sense in the sense of taking a load off The Rock, because I don't know if he's in shape to handle like a 10-15 minute match between one-on-one, like a singles match between anyone. I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know. But that'll be great for the fans at WrestleMania, especially on night 2, which I'm assuming that will be at if that does happen, because those WrestleMania tickets, even for the nosebleed section, cost 2 Mercedes-Benz and a Lexus. That's how much it costs just to sit up there and not see anything, bro. That is nuts. So if you're going to do that, you're going to have to do this. And then what are you going to do to make the first night feel big as well for the fans not attending night 2? Hopefully that'll be that John Cena match, but we'll see what's going to happen there. But again, it's too soon to know anything. I'm sure there's a ton of stuff on the table that we don't know anything about. So right now, we don't know anything. It's all just speculation. I just take it with a grain of salt. Fan gets kicked out of a WWE show for foot incident? What?
Fan gets kicked out of a WWE
he
show
kicked somebody?
for foot incident. Now, unfortunately, creepy fans don't escape wrestling shows, and there was one creepy fan that went too far. According to PW Insider, there was a fan incident at the NXT hotel last night. We were told that a male fan was allegedly caught trying to take photos of the feet of female talent as they made their way through the hotel, and was ejected not once, but twice from the location. Imagine getting banned for life from a WWE show because you were taking pictures of feet. And we already checked, it's not Snitsky. Next up,
no, listen guys, it's not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. But does this guy know that you can Google feet? Like, you literally can Google feet. I am not into the feet stuff. That I don't know how people go crazy over feet. I don't know what about toenails make people go crazy, but that's their own thing. Everybody has their own vice. But where was their security? I mean, I understand it's NXT, but how was this guy able to get close enough to the women to take pictures of their feet in the hotel? Like, that is very dangerous because, you know, to be honest, it sounds crazy, but thankfully, pictures of feet is all he wanted, because if he was somebody who was worse than that, that would be very unsafe for those ladies. And how did he get kicked out and was able to come back around like he's getting a second plate at a buffet? Like, how was he able to come back into the hotel and take more pictures? That's crazy. And why? He didn't like the angle. He didn't like the lighting. The I don't know. The lighting was off. I don't know. That's just weird to me. But I thought it was gonna be like a little bit more interesting than that. But dude, to get banned forever because over some toes, bro, over some toenails, huh? Over some possible, bunions. That's disgusting, bro. Disgusting.
The real reason why CM Punk is being written off television. The CM Punk's recent comments on Raw have some fans concerned that Punk is mulling retirement after his hellacious match against Drew McIntyre at Bad Blood. As we noted in our story, this doesn't appear to be the case, and now a new report from Fightful states that CM Punk is not expected for the Saudi Arabia show. Last we checked, which would explain his absence. Punk isn't a fan of the WWE's business relationship with Saudi Arabia, which is why it seems unlikely he'll ever work a show there due to the country's poor civil rights record. However, this doesn't mean he's hanging up his boots. Next up, WWE Switch To 2 hours was not smooth. Raw's first 2-hour episode aired this week as the USA Network cut the show back from 3 hours to 2 as it finishes its run at the end of this year, leading to questions whether the Red Brand's production team struggled with the 2-hour format. According to a new report from Fightful Select, there's a good reason why the WWE didn't have too many problems, as Fightful was told there were some growing pains with the switch back to 2 hours, but that formatting Raw wasn't difficult as the company has been running 2-hour SmackDowns for the last 25 years. All things considered, Raw put on a solid show, but as we'll see next, not everyone is happy with the 7th October show, as there was backstage frustration in the WWE's
I'm sure, bro. They had a tag match with like 500 women in the ring, and that mug lasted like 9 minutes. It went by like that. And I thought that was kind of strange. Again, I was happy that the women were all in the ring, and for the fans who were there, if your favorite women wrestler was in that ring and you got to see them live, I'm happy for you. But overall, it just seemed like it was a last-minute thrown-together thing, you know what I'm saying?
While there were many positives about this week's Raw, some fans are complaining about the show's 10-women match. Fightful Select reports there was some frustration internally with the 10-woman tag team match, the perceived lack of direction, and a commercial consuming much of the match last night on Raw. It's a common practice for the WWE to give its women's undercard the short end of the stick when it comes to time constraints, so this doesn't seem surprising. While it doesn't justify the practice, it's a reminder that the women's revolution isn't as glorious as the WWE often promotes it. Next up, an NXT superstar looking for big matches on the main roster. A former NXT North American champion, Oba Femi, is speaking out on who he'd like to face when he gets promoted to the main roster.
It better be Gunther, bro. It better be Gunther. That's the match I want to see. Oh my God, that match is going to be fire. That match is going to be fire. Him and Gunther, it's going to be brutal. It's... please, WWE, let me have something, bro. Let me have something. You don't give me the women's mid-card title on the main roster. You gave me new tag team titles. I appreciate that. You brought my girl Julia over to WWE. I appreciate that. But please, can we get Oba Femi versus Gunther in the main roster, bro? That wherever that show is, I'm flying there, bro. I gotta watch it.
Femi, who dropped the title to Tony D'Angelo on last night's NXT, could be appearing soon, and if so, he has big goals in mind, telling Going Ringside that he'd like to face main roster Randy Orton, John Cena hopefully before he retires and leaves us alone. Gunther, Drew McIntyre. Who would you guys like to see Oba face on the main roster?
Gunther is the only right answer.
Tony Khan helps hurricane victims, Big W. And many people are pitching in to help the victims of Hurricane Helene and pending Hurricane Milton, including AEW President Tony Khan. While Khan isn't boasting about what he's done, AEW star Adam Copeland revealed on Busted Open Radio that Khan has provided stealth Starlink devices to Asheville, North Carolina's police to help find people displaced by the storm. Copeland, who lives in Asheville with his family, is reportedly doing fine. Copeland's wife Beth Phoenix informed fans last week the Copeland family is safe and gathered together. Thank you to all who have reached out. After days of no cell phones, no power, no water, limited gas and travel, we are finally getting our feet back on the ground. FTR's Dax Harwood tweeted about Khan's help saying, "It took one ask. Tony didn't hesitate any help beyond this." And many wrestlers have donated to GoFundMe pages set up to assist with the hurricane relief. Next up,
switching over to a serious note, for anybody out there who has family, or if you're out there in Florida and you're there during the impact of Milton, prayers goes out to you guys. Please stay safe out there. I'm trying to figure out where I could donate to kind of help out as well, because that's a very unfortunate situation for you guys. And yeah, just stay safe as possible. And on the situation or on the subject of Tony Khan doing what he can for those people, that is dope. You know, at this point with something like this, we can't think about this person's WWE, this stuff person AEW, or people will try to say, oh, he has to because the Hurricanes in Florida and he owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, or if he's doing this for publicity. Like, all of that stuff don't really matter, bro. At the end of the day, the people who need food, who need water, who need shelter, who need to find their family members, they're not thinking about promotions. They're not thinking about who's trying to do stuff for, notoriety or whatever. And I'm not saying that he is. They just want to find something to drink and be somewhere safe and find their family. And that is the most important part out of this entire thing. And I say that because I've saw some comments about him doing it and people were just saying this other thing. And I understand you can't take people online seriously, but it's just so weird to be able to even type something like that, It's just weird to me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Let's continue.
WWE production was not told of plans. There's interesting news concerning the angle last weekend where Kevin Owens attacked Cody Rhodes after Bad Blood, as he discussed the segment on the WrestleVotes Backstage Pass show, saying nobody in production had any clue because there were no cameras, no lighting, nothing of that nature.
That was a good
quite
idea.
Different going down this road. I wouldn't be surprised if the fan that caught this was a plant just to make sure that they got what they wanted. Fans have praised the angle for conveying an organic vibe, noting how it shows the WWE's continued evolution in its presentation of key moments. While it's obvious that the so-called fan who took the footage was a plant, it still made for a great visual presentation. They went on to say, none of this was spoken to me or that I heard about it even in the slightest. I'm not even sure how many people knew this was going to happen apart from Cody, Kevin Owens, and maybe a few creative people who designed the idea. But when you have a situation where not many people outside know about it, you can keep it quiet and it came off great. While the internet...
I wonder if both, because I saw it from two different angles, but were both of them plants? And maybe people saw Cody outside and they were just like, let's record him. People normally do that when they see, like, I guess celebrities, in this case, in the wrestling world, walking outside, and then eventually they stayed outside long enough to catch this. But it's weird because I didn't hear people like shout out like, Cody, look at me, hey, or they didn't even say, whoa. They didn't do anything like people normally would do. They were weirdly quiet to hear what was happening there and to try to catch what's going on. So maybe there was more plants than just one person. I don't know. Either way, I loved it.
Particularly social media makes it difficult to pull off surprises. The WWE and AEW have nevertheless managed to wow fans with some big angles, including debuts and returns. Next up, more good news for AEW. Now, AEW has much to be happy about following the news of its new rights deal with Warner Brothers Discovery, and now the promotion can boast that it's managed to lock down another rising star to a new deal. AEW wrestler Daniel Garcia appeared on Dynamite and announced that he's staying with AEW. The only thing we know about the contract is that Garcia is sticking with AEW despite serious interest from WWE. The Observer informed fans that the new deal was inked earlier this week. The 26-year-old wrestler told fans on AEW's special title Tuesday edition of Dynamite that he wants a championship, and he called out every champion on the roster. Garcia has been pushed lately, including a program against MJF, and it'll be interesting to see what's next for the young star. Next up, where the Raw Netflix debut.
I like seeing AEW doing good, man.
While Raw's Netflix
rising tide floats all boats, man.
Fans are looking forward to what is being hyped as one of the biggest Raws ever. However, where will the show take place? A new report from Fightful Select confirms what WrestleVotes reported on previously, that the show will be held in LA. Fightful Sean Ross Sapp is reporting Fightful Select can confirm that WWE Raw Netflix debut is currently planned for the Intuit Dome in LA. WrestleVotes has indicated this was the plan recently. Now,
where though? I might be in LA.
Special appearances planned, including John Cena and several SmackDown superstars. Next up, a young superstar apologized.
I need to know where it's going. What day?
Rookie wrestler Javon Evans received the opportunity of a lifetime when he got to face Randy Orton on NXT. There was a spot where Randy Orton was supposed to catch him from the top rope, but it failed miserably. However, Orton did recover. After the match, he repeatedly said, I'm sorry, and Randy telling him, it's okay. Now we gotta say, we love the more mature and more chilled out Randy Orton.
Yeah, if this is Randy Orton back in the day, bro, he would have got you fired, bro. Randy did not play about that. But that could have been, honestly, easily one of the greatest RKOs of all time. And I saw that they botched it. But you know what? Javon bounced back. No pun intended. He's still talented. He's still great. He got a lot more to learn. He will have another opportunity to have a great spot and possibly on a bigger stage, which I wouldn't doubt he is, and overshadow what happened here. But the fact that he had an opportunity to face Randy Orton is still a big moment in itself. And the spot that they tried to perform is not easy. This guy jumped off of the turnbuckle, tried to spin around and go into an RKO. That is not easy. And Randy Orton on his end, he has to perfectly position himself to grab his head safely and make sure he lands the RKO without twisting or turning or his neck, because that can end up in a lot of bad situations, like being paralyzed or worse. So, you know what, Javon, you got this, bro. I'm supporting you. I can't wait to see what type of future you have, bro. You are so talented. So I can't wait to see what you're going to turn into in WWE.
This incident happened about maybe a decade ago. Randy Orton would have lost it in the ring.
Yeah, for sure.
Kingston. And finally, DX drops a hilarious throwback video.
Yeah, I saw this video. So, all right. So, what do you guys think? What do you think about the foot footager? Like, I don't know what to call the guy who takes pictures of people's feet, but that is a wild situation. So, what do you think about the triple threat happening at WrestleMania? What do you think about everything else? And by the way, once again, I want to say, my people who live, my wrestling family who stay in Florida, please stay safe. Prayers out to you, bro. Ladies, whoever's out there, just try to stay as safe as possible. Try to listen to the people out there that's trying to, move people to a safer place. And please just stay safe. Hope everything is well, hopefully. And again, I'm trying to find some place that I can donate something. I'm not rich, but whenever people are going through stuff, whether it's stuff like, illnesses or natural disasters, I just have a need to want to help them in whichever way that I can. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching my video. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Salute, peace, have a good day.